plan. So I had a friend that I met with yesterday. I've known him for like 20 years, and he was going through some symptoms. He thought he had some memory issues, and I told him basically, first of all, dementia and Alzheimer's is not just memory issues. I mean, you literally are catching yourself on fire. I mean, it's just not your typical, like, I'm having some absent-minded old age midlife crisis memory lapses. It's really obvious. You don't have to worry if you have it or not. If you think you have it, you probably don't. If you know something's absolutely wrong, you started catching yourself on fire and you flipped into a totally different life, I would get that checked. So anyway, he said to me, well, when you read that diagnosis, the frontal lobe diagnosis, do you have an exit plan? Second time this week someone's asked me that. And I did. Of course I did. I read what was going to happen. That was not going to happen to me, ever. And I was going to spend all the money I had because I was a great generator of money and I had a nice little stash. And I was going to have one good year and then take myself out because how aggressive and fast this particular disease is. And in the first year, that's kind of was my intention. Things got worse really fast. And even though I went to John and got in Brazil and did a lot of healing things that improved the situation, it was still like this hard spiral down. And so I always had the exit plan. In fact, up until I thought I was going to be leaving last July because it was so bad in April, right before I did that Qigong retreat. And things are getting better. I mean, I'm nowhere near capable of being in my life. I stay home all day, every day, for like 2 years now. and that's another piece I want to talk about too. But back to this exit plan is that, this other guy last week was like, well, how would you do it? And I said, well, I've met with choice and compassion and death with dignity. And, there's these laws and these rules and these regs, and you don't want to have anybody be an accomplice. So you have to be crafty and smart and make sure you're doing the right thing because it's pretty permanent. And, but I have moved that bar many times. I really didn't think that I would go this long into it. And when I started getting all these tremors and flascillations and these ALS type symptoms, and I noticed that this side of the body is getting smaller and my face is doing some weird stuff and blah, blah. I don't even want to tell you. So I thought, I can't do that. I cannot do ALS, and that's the only thing I know that does these muscle flascillations that I was having, symptoms of Parkinson's and stuff like that. And I just got this little message like, oh yes you can. This is here for you. This is here for you to love yourself when you're not perfect. And then I said, okay, I can do that, and I'll get that, and I'll do that, and then I'm taking myself out. And it was like, oh, no, this is so everyone around you can love you when you're not perfect. And so I really didn't want to hurt people with this diagnosis, and I didn't want to take hostages. My spiritual advisor had reminded me that they called this in to their lives for a reason, too. So I tried to just kind of disappear off the face of the earth. And when I started recently learning that the part of that disappearing, a part of my preferences had disappeared too. And I'm happy to report that today I stated that I wanted some preferences and that I didn't like the way something was going. And I really didn't rock the boat and say things like, in the last couple of years, what difference does it make? I'm going to be dead anyway. Why do we even need to talk about it? But I didn't realize that in not talking about those things, I lost me. And it was really clear to me just over the night, last night, after I spoke with this angel that had suggested that this was an idea to play with. And I can't tell you how good I felt when I chose some preferences. I had a couple things going on that were feeling actually pretty shitty. And it was me that was allowing them to go on and pretend like they weren't happening. And when I said it doesn't feel good, I didn't expect a change, and I wasn't grumpy or anything. But I got to remember me, and I got to know that I am important and I do count. And I do. With all the love and everything that I've given in this world, I deserve to have amazing people and things in my life too. And so I forgot that. I just thought with all of the symptoms and all the behaviors and everything that I've done, that I am just lucky to have what I have. And that's ultimately true. But on another hand, um, I just got to experience what it felt like to care about me and to kind of put myself on the, um, I don't want to say priority list, but I matter. And I feel so much healthier today just remembering that I don't have to have a bunch of entitlement and I don't have to go around and be controlling. I don't really need a lot. My life is really simple. But the fact that I matter and that I have a voice to express those things is part of being whole, and it just felt really good to actually voice that. So I'll talk about the other thing that I forgot that I was going to mention earlier in the next video.